hosted by Jodianne Quarry.
Nurturing businesses with support and services to help them grow and bloom. The Time by Sagicor Bank is 7.
Coming up in CVM News at 7, pedestrian killed on Main Street, Ocho-Rios. Family dispute leaves 1 dead and 2 others wounded in St. Elizabeth. And Manchester 5-decade water struggle nears end. In the business report, Cigna signs historic $15 million investment deal with the IFC, while later on in sports, West Indies upset defending champions in World Cup opener. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Saturday, June 13, 2026. I'm Curlin Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. A pedestrian was killed by an out-of-control motor vehicle in St. Ann at about 5:55 this morning. The incident, captured on CCTV footage, shows a white Toyota Mark X traveling at speed along Main Street, Ocho-Rios. When on reaching the Ocho-Rios market, the vehicle veered across the roadway, climbed the sidewalk and hit the pedestrian before making impact with a wooden utility pole. The driver, identified as 27-year-old Rodney Thompson of a Port Maria address, fled the scene, while the pedestrian, identified as 65-year-old Claudette Thorpe of Petersfield District, St. Mary, was taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. From information received, the driver of the motor car was subsequently handed over to the police by his family members. Police arrested a 19-year-old suspect accused of chopping his 2 brothers, one fatally, and also injuring their mother during a deadly domestic dispute at their home in Stevenson Town, Seaview, southeastern St. Elizabeth this morning. The murder victim has been identified as Travis Williams, a resident and laborer of the community, who died at the scene from multiple chop wounds all over his body. Police reports are between 12:30 and 1 a.m. The 19-year-old allegedly chopped his brothers and mother. The other brother, aged 14, and their 43-year-old mother were taken to hospital and admitted in serious condition. A team from the Area 3 Anti-Fugitive Apprehension Team reportedly came under gunfire while conducting an operation in the Farm Effortville area of Clarendon. 23-year-old O'Neill Hamilton, otherwise called Jay or Putte, a laborer of Oliver Gardens, Maypen, Clarendon, was found suffering from gunshot wounds following the exchange. He was taken for medical treatment, where he was pronounced dead. Meanwhile, a policeman escaped serious injuries after a bullet struck his protective vest. The officer was taken to hospital for treatment and remains in stable condition. Investigators have linked Hamilton to a number of criminal activities across Area 3, including a robbery committed earlier on Friday at a bar along Sewell Crescent in Maypen. Now, during that incident, Hamilton and another man reportedly discharged their firearms while fleeing the scene. And there is a warning this evening for motorists in Montego Bay who use the Iron Shore to Norwood bypass. A section of the roadway has collapsed, making it unsafe for motorists to travel the area. Of concern is at the entrance to the Norwood Meadows housing scheme. Now, the damage to the road infrastructure is impacting motorists who desire to enter the community. Again, motorists who must use that section of the roadway should proceed with extreme caution. It's unclear if the drainage system which runs along the roadway has contributed to the road being undermined. Our news team, in looking at the area, noticed some motorists approaching with caution where possible, but with no warning signs. It's feared those who are unaware could bring harm to themselves and others. Motorists are all concerned. Motorists who are concerned are appealing to the authorities to address the situation as soon as possible. The Ministry of Education was taken to task during the monthly meeting of the St. Thomas Municipal Council regarding a main shelter in the parish which is deemed unfit. Questions were also raised about the level of preparedness overall to face the hurricane season already underway.
Councillor for the Port Morant Division in St. Thomas has raised issue about the preparedness of the municipality to effectively care for vulnerable residents who seek shelter from the government in the event of a hurricane. Speaking at the monthly meeting of the municipality, the councillor said he was not satisfied with the provisions currently in place for one of the largest communities in the division. Disdale Smith pointed to the one assigned shelter for the Arcadia community, the Arcadia Primary School, which according to him cannot now serve its true purpose in benefiting the residents if a severe weather system impacts that section of the island. Information is that the school failed the inspection conducted by the Public Health Department and as such was declared unfit for use as a shelter. The councillor believes this is worrying and deserves urgent attention.
We are in a situation where we have a cul-de-sac community with no approved shelter for the community. And so because of that now we are in a dilemma. Should we have an emergency situation, we have no shelter to go to.
His appeal? To the Ministry of Education to intervene quickly in the best interest of the student population and for the sake of the residents who are likewise dependent on the school being suitable to host for educational purposes and that of a shelter for the wider citizenry.
We as the council utilize the shelter through ODPM, the school as a shelter through the ODPM, and as a result of that we believe that the Ministry of Education should ensure that emergency works be done instantly for school to be in a condition to be approved as a shelter. It is leaking at the roof horribly, and so when rain falls, the students have to be removed from the schools. So I'm calling on the Ministry of Education to do something to ensure that the schools are in a condition suitable for the students, and that will make it be suitable for us to be able to utilize it as a shelter.
The councillor is of the view that if this situation isn't rectified, it would send a loud message and constitute a missed opportunity for the relevant authorities to register their interest and care for the very children who are the upcoming generation with potential and promise for a better tomorrow. In the meantime, health officials are expressing optimism about being better prepared this year when compared to last year this time.
We're grateful to say that we're prepared primarily at the hospital. Particularly one of the challenges we've had in the past is water. There being no water. This year we're far better off with our nice big 150,000 gallon tank. So that's part of what makes us ready. But we still have little vulnerabilities that we're working on, so we're not yet at 100% perfect.
For CVM News, I'm Damon Phillips.
Years of water shortage in Manchester may finally be coming to an end. The Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, Matthew Samuda, reveals that a massive multi-billion-dollar infrastructure is entering its final phase. Now, the project promises to not only restore reliable service to Mandeville, but aims to completely reshape how water is delivered to Jamaicans. More from Crystal Williams.
For half a century, some residents across Manchester have been struggling with water in their pipes. Relief is now in sight as a $124 million pipeline replacement project connecting Hopeton to Waltham is officially operational, marking a major milestone. But according to Minister of Water Matthew Samuda, residents will still have to wait a while longer for full service.
What you're waiting on is that final connection of pepper to gutters to see the true benefit of the $2.5 billion that have been invested thus far over the 4 years. We do expect that residents of Mandeville and indeed the western side of Manchester will start to experience a merry water Christmas this year with the benefit of the investment that we have made.
He also revealed that a $5 billion Caribbean Development Bank CDB funded project is nearing completion to help upgrade long-neglected rural pipelines.
CDB funded projects will see some $5 billion invested into particular rural schemes that have long needed upgrades. One of those schemes is indeed the Union to Balaclava system. Now, you had raised some issues with me, MP, related to Noisy River. We are able to accommodate extensions into that area, so that project will benefit you across parish lines.
Minister Samuda added that the government is partnering with the World Bank to introduce a social water policy designed to protect low-income families who cannot afford the standard utility rates.
We don't intend any Jamaican, because of poverty levels, to not have access to water. So certainly those who cannot afford it, the state has a responsibility to deliver that water. And we will create the right structure that facilitates it and removes the indignity of being called thieves if they have to extract from lines. And I think that is incredibly important.
Crystal Williams, CVM News.
Light and Power Company, the Jamaica Public Service, JPS, is still under the microscope. Days after an all-island blackout, and there's still no concrete information as to what really triggered the grid failure. In a statement to the Parliament, Energy Minister Darrell Vaz again hinted at plans to revisit the JPS license arrangement or seek out a new provider.
A Friday many Jamaicans won't soon forget when the lights went out in every parish. An unfortunate incident that the power companies had soon surmised could be linked to lightning strikes in sections of Kingston. Energy Minister Darrell Vaz had demanded an urgent investigation and report into the cause of the incident coming out of the weekend. But when the report was finally had,
while the report outlines the sequence of events that led to the system shutdown, I must emphasize that the root cause of the outage has not yet been conclusively determined. Investigations and technical analysis remain ongoing to establish with certainty the factors that triggered the collapse of the national grid.
Minister Vaz has also indicated that steps are being taken to ensure that Jamaicans are not left in the dark come 2027, when the government will again give consideration to the JPS's application for a renewal of its license.
The government has reviewed the current JPS license and identified significant shortcomings, including high electricity costs, inadequate provisions for system resilience, high losses passed on to the consumers, slow renewable energy integration, weak efficiency incentives, and limited opportunities for competition. To address these issues, the government has adopted a two-track approach. The first track involves negotiating a new license with JPS that aligns with the national energy objectives and delivers better outcome for the consumers. And the second track prepares alternative ownership arrangements should negotiations not produce a satisfactory result, ensuring continuity of service and protection of the public interest.
He maintains if the company should fail to agree to the changes afoot in the license, then a new entity could be considered.
The government's broader goal is to reform the electricity sector by increasing accountability, improving affordability and resilience, promoting competition, and preventing the reemergence of an entrenched monopoly. An electricity license negotiating team comprises representatives of my ministry, the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, the Attorney General's Chambers, the Consumer Advisory Committee on Utilities, local energy specialists, and international technical, legal, and financial consultants have been established to assist in guiding the process.
Nika Lewis there. Now, residents in Middlesex districts and Catherine are celebrating a major upgrade to their community thanks to the generosity of a husband and wife team living in Canada who took aspects of local infrastructure development into their own hands.
The community of Middlesex District in Guys Hill, St. Catherine recently received a huge boost in infrastructure development as members of the diaspora, Maria Dillon Brown and her husband Frank Brown donated approximately $1.5 million worth of wireless solar lights and poles.
The reason for donating the poles also is because we did not want to use the JPS poles. We wanted to be independent. And that's because just in case there's a hurricane and JPS poles are down, we did not want it to affect our lighting system in the community. So I go ahead and myself and my husband, Frank, we purchased the solar lights and the poles.
Residents rallied together to help with the installation, placing them at the basic school and all the churches in the community. Mrs. Dillon Brown says the new lights are already making a massive difference for families at night.
For their own safety, they can go out and feel safe when they're coming in at night. I see the impact it's already having on our community. It's very bright in the night. And when the power went out the other day, they weren't installed as yet, just one, but that the effect that one has on the community was so great. They just want these lights.
She is also urging other Jamaicans living abroad to step up and help develop their home communities.
I will encourage members of the diaspora, contribute to your community, form citizen association and work towards development in your community. We are aware that the rural communities seems to be left behind at times. And I do know that the government is working towards helping. And we do appreciate that because I see where they did that bridge in Troy and they're doing other things in rural communities. But sometimes we feel left behind.
Crystal Williams, CVM News.
Jamaica is making headway as a global example in the labor market by increasing post-disaster productivity, navigating employment standards, and rebuilding with purpose. Speaking at the Jamaica Employers Federation's convention, Labour Minister Pernell Charles Jr. reflected on the theme, Rebuilding with Purpose, Turning Crisis into Opportunity. We go back once again to Crystal Williams for more.
The Labour Minister says he would like the Jamaica Employers Federation to see that their success is synonymous with the ministry's success. As the country continues to rebuild, he believes this will be achieved by strengthening productivity and ensuring that businesses have the tools to remain competitive.
Things are shifting, things have shifted. And so we also have to adapt our minds. So when you look on COVID, when you look on Beryl, when you look on Melissa, it is forcing us to rebuild with purpose. It is forcing us to define the avenues to truly turn crisis into opportunity. And what we defined it as in the national statement to the world last week was that we would be redefining resilience.
Over the past few years, due to global shocks, many businesses have been forced to adjust operations. The Labour Minister highlighted the importance of high productivity in a country with low employment in order to make Jamaica competitive in a shrinking global market.
Many sectors have experienced shocks beyond just the climate and other impacts to the country. So we have seen unemployment fall last year to its lowest 3.3%, and now we're hovering between 3.5, 3.6. So these are good, positive indicators, but there's still much more for us to do. And we, at the Ministry of Labour, speak to those issues.
He says Jamaica was globally selected in Geneva to lead conversations on social dialogue and tripartism.
When we talk about rebuilding with purpose and turning crisis into opportunity, it is timely, it is relevant, it speaks to the reality of Jamaica. And like many other countries, we have had no choice but to navigate the challenges while finding opportunities for growth, for innovation, and for resilience. And for us, this theme is meaningful.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
And we will be right back. Stay with us.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people never say we are march up the dance. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got the spark, don't be the dark. Shine your lights on.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, with questions still swirling about the construction of a third international airport here in Jamaica, here's Joel Crosskill with an update. No, let's go to world instead. A deal to end fighting between the U.S. and Iran is, quote, scheduled to get signed on Sunday, end quote, U.S. President Donald Trump has said. But Iran has cast doubt on the timing. We hear more from the BBC.
In a post on Truth Social, President Trump said the deal is scheduled to get signed tomorrow, and immediately after it is signed, the Hormuz Strait is open to all. Earlier in the day, on X, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Shehbaz Sharif, who has mediated talks, also said, "We are closer to a peace deal than ever before, with finalization likely expected in the next 24 hours. Pakistan is preparing for the electronic signing of the peace deal immediately after, followed by technical level talks next week. In recent days, there has been growing optimism about the proposed memorandum of understanding that could reopen the Strait of Hormuz and begin unfreezing Iranian assets. This afternoon, Iran's foreign ministry said caution was needed and a deal wouldn't be signed tomorrow. Well, let's speak now to our correspondent in Washington, Thomas Morgan. So, Thomas, what has President Trump said in this post on Truth Social? Well, it's a number of things. I think the main key takeaway is that he is also saying that this will be signed tomorrow and it will lead to the immediate reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, and it will also lead to an end of the US blockade on any Iranian ships. I think what's interesting as well in his post on Truth Social is how much he talks about the nuclear program in Iran. Now, if you remember, this has been such a sticking point for such a long time in all of these talks. What we understood on Friday when the US officials, his government officials, were given a briefing.
And now that report from Joel Crossgale.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. The International Finance Corporation, IFC, a member of the World Bank Group, will invest up to US $15 million in the Caribbean Community Resilience Fund CCRF Debt Subfund, a regional investment vehicle managed by Cygnus and established in partnership with the CARICOM Development Fund CDF. The investment represents IFC's first debt fund transaction in the Caribbean, a precedent recognized by Justine Powell, Vice President Investment Management, Cygnus Capital, during the recent signing ceremony.
It's a moment of validation for a vision that began with a simple belief that Caribbean businesses and economies deserve access to the kind of long-term, flexible capital that allows them not merely to pursue growth, but to build resilience, create lasting value, and thrive sustainably over the long term. The commitment IFC has made to the CCRF is not incidental. It follows rigorous institutional evaluation and reflects confidence in both the platform we have built and the opportunities that exist across the region. We are proud that Cygnus has been entrusted to serve as the bridge between global capital and regional opportunity.
The CCRF Debt Subfund will be deployed across 13 countries in the Caribbean, with a focus on 7 priority sectors critical to the region's long-term development and resilience.
The Caribbean has never lacked ambition, ingenuity, or entrepreneurial talent. What it has often lacked is financing infrastructure commensurate with that potential. The CCRF Debt Subfund was purpose-built to address that gap by providing capital that's resilient, catalytic, and grounded in a deep understanding of the realities of the region. That is why today's partnership matters. It sends a signal that the Caribbean is not a peripheral market seeking attention. It's a region worthy of investment, capable of innovation, and increasingly equipped with the institutions and platforms required to mobilize capital.
IFC is the largest global development institution with a focus on the private sector and emerging markets. In fiscal year 2025, IFC committed a record $71.7 billion to private companies and financial institutions in developing countries. And according to Olga Calaboso, IFC Regional Manager, Financial Institutions Group, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean, additional funding is on its way.
Today's signing is an important milestone for IFC in the Caribbean and a very strong step forward in our partnership with Cygnus. Through this investment, we are really helping to expand access to finance to businesses that need it, to create jobs, to create growth opportunities in the local markets. This initiative also supports resilient and sustainable development at a time that is critical for the Caribbean. And this is just the beginning. After this debt fund that we're celebrating today, more will be coming.
The estimated financing gap in the Caribbean exceeds $22 billion, with domestic credit in the region's small states at approximately 33% of GDP. The CCRF Debt Subfund was developed to help bridge that gap and is targeting $75 million, scalable to $125 million.
This fund represent one of the most transformative fund on the investment horizon and landscape in the Caribbean. And this fund will catalyze and crowd in private sector capital and mobilize capital for businesses, especially in the resilience sector the sectors in the Caribbean which really matters. We are talking about climate, transportation, smart agriculture, sustainable housing, etc. These are the areas that we have to be deliberate about in terms of investment strategy and investment philosophy. These are the themes that will transform the very lives of our society, build resilience, and make the Caribbean more prosperous.
For Beresford Gray, co-founder, president and CEO of Cygnus, the occasion was not only the culmination of close to 2 years of effort in securing the partnership with IFC, but also spoke to the broader vision of Cygnus's ambition to provide a Caribbean alternative investment platform that is world-class.
Yes, the reward is in signing and the partnership that we have forged with IFC, one of the most renowned multilaterals across the world. The other reason why it's important to have a partner like IFC at the table is because they signal to the international community and to other multilaterals that the Caribbean is an investable market, and the big themes in terms of climate and resilience can be rewarding, both in terms of returns for investors as well as creating the impact that we so need in the region. This is one of the reasons why Cygnus was founded, to unlock, mobilize, and have capital flow through different strategies across the region. And for that reason, we want to say thank you very much for your confidence in the CCRF and the confidence in Cygnus as a fund manager, and we look forward to a very long and successful partnership. Thank you.
And that was your business report.
Thank you, Joel. Stay with us now. Up next, sports.
For the moments that are best enjoyed with your hands, enjoy them with a KFC Big Deal or Big Bucket. KFC, it's finger licking good. The time